Booty Tribe? It's your girl Nadja here, and I am back with another video. Sorry if you hear any like thunder, lightning, cats, dogs, hogs, pigs, whatever in the background. It is like thunderstorming. It's hurricane season here in Florida, so the beginning of the day it looks really nice, and then like once it hits around this time of the day it gets ugly, and we're at that time of the day right now. Today we are going to be doing a quick little story time. Well, not quick, because I'm really trying to work on making my videos a bit longer so that you guys can watch them a little bit longer. I know it's kind of annoying always having like ads like all up in there, so I really want to make it a little bit longer. Let me like zoom this in. There we go. This is gonna be a tiny bit more lengthier than my usual story times are, but there's a lot going on in the story. So this is gonna be the story about the worst date I have ever went on in my entire 22 years on this earth, okay? It's pretty fucking bad. If you like the video, make sure you hit the like button. Just throwing that out there, you know, throwing it out there, just throwing it out there. Let's get right into it. So this happened when I was 17 years old, and this is when I had first started dating my ex-boyfriend, who I call L on this channel. L and I believe that like I know it was still the beginning of the relationship, but like we didn't really go on dates. Like we were more of like a just hang out at each other's house type couple or whatever. And I was like, I've never been like on a legit date. Like I had a long-term boyfriend before him, but we were long distance, so we never got to like go anywhere, and then we both didn't have cars. We were both young, so it didn't really work out. But L actually lived very close to me, so I was like, why haven't we gone on a date yet? Sure, we both still didn't have cars, but there were like restaurants and stuff like that around that we could have easily like walked to, like footed it to, you know, and went, but we just never did. And like it was getting to that point where I was just like, hey, you need to take your girl out on a date. Like, what are we doing? Are we even in a relationship? Like, what's going on? This is when the Jacksonville Fair was in town, and that is the most ratchetest fucking fair on the planet. Like 2 out of 10 don't go. 10 out of 10 if you want to see fights or like somebody get shot.
Police working at the nearby Jacksonville Fair heard the gunfire. Channel 4's Allison Henning spoke with neighbors who heard the shots and saw the teens moving towards safety seconds after the shooting.
But if you're like me and you're just trying to go there for some cutesy shit and get on some rides and maybe get a teddy bear, 2 out of 10. I was like, hey, the fair is coming, do you want to go? And he was like, yeah.
I was actually thinking about taking you up. Let's go to the fair.
Okay, well, who's gonna drop us off?
Oh, well, I mean, we could just take the bus.
Now, mind you, I know my up north followers are probably like, girl, I be taking the bus all the time. Girl, you better get on that bus. Like, girl, if you don't get on that fucking bus. But what you don't understand is like Jacksonville is a city where you need to have a car to survive. So the main people, like when you're up north, the main people on a bus, you'll have people from all different type of social classes, colors, jobs, ages. You know, you'll probably on the bus with a dude that's about to go to Wall Street. Like, you get what I'm saying? Here in Jacksonville, the only people you about to see on the bus are like hobos, crackheads, and every once in a while it's a little kid going to his fast food job. Like, it's not the same, okay? It's really not the same. So I was like, I don't really want to go on the bus. Like, I would rather us catch a ride. And mind you, this was back before Uber and all that stuff even existed, so there really wasn't any type of other option. It's either you knew somebody with a car, or your mom dropped you off, or you rode the bus. My mom did not like my ex at all, so of course she wasn't gonna drop both of us off. She didn't even want that nigga in her car. And L's mom drove a motorcycle, and we can't all three of us pack up on the motorcycle. And L did have a car, but his car was in the shop, so it wasn't, you know, it was just not working out. But I was like, you know, I'm young, dumb, and naive, and I really want to go on my first date and blah blah blah, so I'll get on the bus. Bitch, you will not catch me on no fucking bus. Like today, not this one. This one's not gonna be on the fucking bus. We arrange, he goes and looks at the bus schedules, and like I'm like, have you ever rode the bus before? And he's like,
yeah, I've rode the bus. I ride the bus all the time.
Okay, cause y'all, like, I don't know, call me bougie or whatever, but like I've just wasn't that type of bitch. Like I was just not about to be on no the Jacksonville Fly, or whatever the fuck that shit's called. I was not about to be on no fucking bus. But because I love this dude or whatever, and I wanted my little date at the fair, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take one for the team and get the fuck on this bus. So the fair was on the weekend. I want to say it was like a Friday or a Saturday, and he looked up the bus route or whatever. So I'm wearing like a dress or some shit, looking cute to go on my little fair date or whatever, and you know, Elle is dressed. And we go to the bus stop. The bus stop was like right outside his apartment building, and we were waiting, and the bus finally shows up. I think we had to pay like $1 or something each, and then we sit on the bus. Like, it wasn't anything spectacular. There were tons of creepy ass people on there, just like how I expected. Like, one man sleeping, 2 hobos with shopping carts on there, like one little kid with the fucking Arby's uniform. I already knew what type of format was gonna be on this transportation, right? We're on the bus, and you know, we pull up to downtown Jacksonville, right? But the thing is that the bus stop did not get off exactly at the fair. So when we get off the bus, I'm looking at Elle and I'm like, where's the fair at? Like, we're in the middle, we're in the hood, bitch. We at East, we in the hood. Like, what's going on? Like, what's going on?
Oh, well, we have to walk. Like, the bus isn't just gonna drop us off, like, exactly where we need to be. And
I'm like, then what's the point of taking the fucking bus if it's not gonna do its job? Like, I was irritated. I'm not gonna lie. I was really irritated, but I was like, you know what? You're gonna go to the fair. You're gonna get your little date. Let's just start footing it. So we're walking, and like, mind you, the sun is going down. So it's like sunset or whatever. We're walking. We probably walked like 2 or 3 blocks. And like, y'all gotta understand, like, Jacksonville is not like other cities. Like, it's not like Atlanta and like New York and Seattle where like there's tons of people walking. Like, nobody walks here because you cannot get around on foot because everything is so stretched out. You either have a car or you're a hobo on a bike. Like, literally, there is no in between. Like, so when we're walking, we're seeing all types of homeless people, all types of fucking drugged out people. Like,
you give me $1, man. Huh? You give me $1.
I'm like, damn, when the fuck are we gonna get to where we need to be? Like, I felt somewhat protected because I was with Elle, but at the same time, I'm like, somebody could just snatch me up behind him and run off. Like, finally get to the fairgrounds, this long ass fucking line to get in, and I'm like, great, now it's probably gonna take us like 20 minutes to even get into the fair. So I'm standing in line, and you know, Elle is on his phone because that's all he ever like really did in our relationship. Like, we didn't even really like talk for real. So he's on his phone. I'm just in the line, like wondering when the fuck we're gonna get to where we need to be. There's bitches arguing in the line, talking about somebody came to the fair with somebody else's baby daddy with a third party's children. Like, it's just all types of paranormal ratchetivity in my environment. I just fixed my hair up because I'm like, damn, my ponytail is like far back. So boom, so we get to the front of the line. He pays for my ticket, and you know, I'm like, okay, this is gonna be great. Like, we're here, nothing can go wrong. We're finally at the fair. Like, this is what we wanted to do. Well, this is what I wanted to do. I don't even think he really wanted to do it, but I was like, we're finally here. All the struggle, the bus struggle, the walking through the mud in Hobo Alley, all that shit, waiting in this long ass line with these ratchet ass hoes, get to the front of the line. It's all worth it, right? So get our ticket, we go inside, and I'm like, oh my god, I want to get on this ride, I want to get on that ride. And Elle was like,
I'm not paying for that.
now look, I know some of y'all are gonna be like, girl, you're real, what's the word for it? Put the word in the comments below if you know what word I'm trying to say, because I'm having a brain fart right now. And that's totally not how I am. Like, I totally pick up the tab for dudes. Like, when me and my boyfriend go out, sometimes we'll split it. Sometimes I'll take the whole check. Sometimes he'll take the whole check. Like, it depends on who's getting paid that week. like, because we help each other out, we're a partnership. And I'm talking about my current boyfriend, not my ex-boyfriend. But it's just the fact that at the time, I was 17, I was working at my first job, I was only making $7 an hour, and this nigga was working somewhere making like 10, 11 bucks an hour, and my paychecks were looking like $100-something. Like, you said you're gonna take me out on a date. What? Like, what? You're gonna make me pay for these rides? Like, I already spent all my whole check on car insurance. I don't got no fucking money. So I was like, oh, so we're not getting on any rides?
Well, you can get on rides if you want to. Like, if you want to go and pay for some tickets, you can go ahead and get on the ride, and I'll just stand here and watch.
Really? Like, okay. Okay. Oh, and I paid for my bus ticket. I'm like, all right. So once I realized that, like, I'm just literally at the fair to walk around because, like, I can't get on no rides. I don't got no money. This man don't got no money. Like, what are we gonna do? So we're walking around, I guess. It smells like hay and doo-doo and just, it's gross. Girls fighting and shit. You got tumbleweeds. Then you got tumbleweaves, like weave, tumbling around from bitches fighting each other on the premises. You got horses, you got little kids throwing up from the rides. Like, I was just like, yo, this is just not as fun as I remember the fair being. Like, it just wasn't fun. And I think it's because it wasn't fun for me was because I had such high expectations of the experience of what it was supposed to be like. Like, I'm at the fair with my boyfriend and he's gonna win me a teddy bear and we're gonna get on the Ferris wheel and kiss. Ladies, it's not High School Musical, okay? It's not High School Musical. Sometimes what you want, niggas can't provide at certain times in their life, I guess. I don't know. Maybe you're just not the right bitch for them. I don't know. But that is not what the fuck happened. Like, we literally were just walking around the fairgrounds, bored as fuck. We finally went to like a little food stand or something, and then Elle out of nowhere magically has money to get a funnel cake. And I'm like, I would have preferred to get on rides than eat a fucking funnel cake.
Oh, well, we could split the funnel cake. I don't mind. We could split the funnel cake.
Whatever. So we split the funnel cake, you know. And after a while, he was like, are
you ready to go?
And to be honest, I was ready to go once he told me I could not get on any rides. Like, I had already logged out. I was already gone. Like, bitch, I was still at the door with the bitches fighting in the line over baby daddies and children. Like, I wasn't even there anymore. So I was like, yeah, I'm kind of ready to go. By the time we were walking out of the gate, it was already dark. Like, it had been dark for a long time. It was dark when he told me I couldn't get on the rides. We're like, okay, well, because he told me when our bus would be here. So he was like,
all right, well, we're gonna have to chill at the bus station for maybe like 20 minutes since it only took us like 20 minutes to walk from that bus station to the fairgrounds.
So, you get what I'm saying. The bus was gonna be there in 40 minutes, blase, whatever. I was like, I really don't care. I wanna go. We're walking, we leave the fairgrounds, and then we're walking. Mind y'all, it's the fall time. It got cold as fuck. Like, I was wearing a dress. So when we're walking against the wind, and the wind is just blowing at me. My dress is blowing everywhere. I'm so fucking cold. I had open-toed shoes, and that was bothering me even more when I was at the fairgrounds, which is my fault because I knew I was going to the fair and I shouldn't have been wearing those fucking open-toed shoes. Like, that was dumb on me. Like, I'm taking full responsibility for that. We're walking that fucking hike, those 3 blocks, to the bus stop, and I'm just like, damn, it is so fucking cold. Like, I can't. Elle don't got no jacket. You know in the movies when the girl is cold, the dude's supposed to, no, that didn't happen, bitch. I was freezing my tits off. Like, I was so fucking cold. We're just walking, keep walking. You got hobos asking me for money. I'm like, nigga, I don't even have a shirt to give you off my back. I'm freezing. You got on more clothes than me. Like, can I have a jacket? Can I have a jacket? Like, you asking me for money. So then finally we get to the fucking bus stop and we're just sitting there waiting, and I'm like complaining because I'm like, I'm so cold. Like, I'm so cold. And Elle's like,
oh my God, you don't think I'm cold? You don't think I'm cold? I don't have a jacket to give you. Like, I'm cold too. Like, what do you want me to do?
You know what? I'm not even about to argue with you because it's cold. I really, like, whatever. Let's just wait for the bus. We're waiting for the bus, waiting for the bus. And finally the bus shows up. There's nobody on the bus, okay? Nobody is on this bus but us. So we get on the bus, and you know, at this point I'm on the bus, it's warm, and I'm starting to think like, you know, this could have went way worse. It could have been way worse, you know, like it wasn't that bad. Like, sure, I didn't get to go on rides, and sure, we had to ride the bus, and sure, I had to walk 3 blocks, and sure, this nigga spent his money on a funnel cake instead of having a romantic Ferris wheel moment. But I mean, shit, at least we're in the warmth of this bus, and we could just go home, you know, and just smoke weed like the bums we were, you know. So not saying people who smoke weeds are bum. We were bum ass stoners, like, honestly. We're on the bus, you know, and like I'm putting my head on his shoulder, but it's like totally like not even like we go to a bus station in the Regency Mall. If y'all know Jacksonville, y'all are gonna know like everything I'm talking about, but if you don't, just stay along for the ride, because when I said it couldn't get worse, I fucking lied. Like, this shit got so fucking bad. This shit got so fucking bad. Like, so we pull up to the Regency bus station at the Regency Mall. It's nighttime. It's like 10 o'clock at night at this point, right? And the bus stops, and it still stopped, and the doors open, and we're still sitting on the bus. The bus driver stands up and looks back at us, and she was like,
"Hey guys, this is the end of the line."
What?
This is the end of the line. This is the last stop. Regency Mall, this is the last stop.
And Elle was like,
I thought that this bus went all the way back to FSCJ College, the Deerwood campus.
because that was right next to his house.
I thought this goes back to the Deerwood campus. Oh no, that's only on weekdays. This is the weekend schedule.
And I looked at him like, nigga, you had one job to make sure that our transportation was on lock. And this lady is telling us to get off her fucking bus 20 to 30 minutes away from our home. We don't got no ride. It's the middle of the night and it's cold outside. Like, are you fucking kidding? Yo, like, I was so shattered. I was so shattered. We get off the bus and we sit at the bus station, and I am so pissed. I'm cold. There's no blanket. Again, hobos everywhere. There's like a few police officers there too, because there's always sus activity at Regency Mall or whatever. So there were some cops, but it's just like, I was so close to knocking on that cop's window like, "Sir, can you please take me home? Fuck this nigga, take me home. I'm only 17, I'm a minor, it's past my curfew, take me home." Like, I was this close to doing that. Elle is like,
"I gotta fix this, I gotta fix this."
So he's on his phone, he's trying to call up everybody he can to come and pick us up. Like, I'll try to insert a map here so you guys can see how far away we were and the walking distance to get to where the fuck we needed to be. Yeah, that's not reasonable. That's not a fucking game. I'm just sitting there and I'm thinking, I'm like, yo, I can't call my mom because it was past 10 o'clock and my mom worked the graveyard shift back then. So she clocked into work at 10 o'clock. She was already at work. My mom couldn't pick me up. Like, I didn't have any friends with cars at the time. Most of my friends got their cars when they were like 18. So me, myself included. So it's like, I didn't have any friends to go to and call to come pick me up. Elle was 21 at the time, so he did have a lot of like friends with cars, I guess, because he was calling up every fucking body. So we sit back, he sits back down next to me, and he just puts his hands, like his face in his hands, and he's just looking at the floor, and he just looks so miserable. And I'm looking at him like, nigga, can you please assure me that somebody is gonna come and pick us up?
I just keep getting a whole bunch of maybes. I don't know what to do. If it comes down to it, will you foot it with me?
My nigga, we're gonna be walking until like 2 in the morning. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm being exaggerative. I haven't looked at the map. I'm gonna look at it when I'm editing and shit, but who is about to walk that? And then there isn't even sidewalk on the majority of that. Like, that's another thing about Jacksonville. This is not a city equipped for people to walk. There is not sidewalks at a lot of places. Like, where are we going to walk? A car could hit us and we could die. Like, I was just so pissed.
So I just wait a little bit longer. Somebody might show up. You never know. Somebody might show up.
We're just sitting there in the cold. I'm freezing. At this point, we're like hugging each other to preserve our body heat and shit. Like, we sit back, he sits back down next to me, and he just puts his hands, like his face in his hands, and he's just looking at the floor, and he just looks so miserable. And I'm looking at him like, nigga, can you please assure me that somebody is gonna come and pick us up?
I just keep getting a whole bunch of maybes. I don't know what to do. If it comes down to it, will you foot it with me?
My nigga, we're gonna be walking until like 2 in the morning. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm being exaggerative. I haven't looked at the map. I'm gonna look at it when I'm editing and shit, but who is about to walk that? And then there isn't even sidewalk on the majority of that. Like, that's another thing about Jacksonville. This is not a city equipped for people to walk. There is not sidewalks at a lot of places. Like, where are we going to walk? A car could hit us and we could die. Like, I was just so pissed.
So I just wait a little bit longer. Somebody might show up. You never know. Somebody might show up.
We're just sitting there in the cold. I'm freezing. At this point, we're like hugging each other to preserve our body heat and shit. Like, these cops probably think that we're just some well-dressed hobos or some shit. Or like, I don't know, maybe we got kicked out of our parents' house. Like, we're drug addicts or something. Maybe that's what they thought, because they not once came over to see what the fuck was going on. Yeah, we were just holding each other to preserve body heat because it was that fucking cold. Like, it didn't make any sense. And I hate how Florida weather does that. Like, out of nowhere, it'll be hot as shit during the daytime and then it get dead fucking cold at night and it's just dry and cold. Finally, out of nowhere, we see 2 headlights pull up. And I'm like, oh my God, please tell me that is for us. Like, please tell me that's for us. The car pulls up and L just gets so happy. He's like,
oh bro, I'm so glad that you came through. I'm so glad that you came through.
We're gonna call this guy Aaron. So Aaron was supposedly L's like best friend or whatever all throughout high school, probably his only friend, I don't fucking know. Aaron pulled through, he came up, and you know, I got in the back seat, L got in the front, and then Aaron was just like letting L have it.
Yo, you got your girl fucked up. You got her out here in this fucking cold. Why didn't you tell me? I know you.
We sit back, he sits back down next to me and he just puts his hands, like his face in his hands, and he's just looking at the floor and he just looks so miserable. And I'm looking at him like, nigga, can you please assure me that somebody is gonna come and pick us up?
I just keep getting a whole bunch of maybes. I don't know what to do. If it comes down to it, will you foot it with me?
My nigga, we're